let's review something. Here I asked Claude about the Gastown project. So yeah, it gave me a summary correctly. Then after it gave me the summary, I asked it to summarize it in bullet points, so it was in a shorter format. And then after that, I had to prompt it to tell me how I would present this in a YouTube video or short. Now let's compare it with the same chat, the same prompt that I had in this conversation. So it's the same prompt. I got the response. It also summarized Gastown. It presented it in a bullet point format, mentioning the core problems, the caveats, and then at the end, it gave me ideas to how to present this in a YouTube video or in a short, all with a single prompt. How was this possible? I created a Claude project, and inside I asked my question. That's what we're going to do in this video. So what was that I presented? A Claude project. This is a workspace where you set the context once when you're creating the project, adding instructions and files, and this sticks to every conversation that you have inside of the project. So in this video, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a project. Now, I just did it for ideas for my channel. Let's create one that has even more stuff, but let's get out of coding. Let's create a project for recipes. That was it. We have our project creating. We could start prompting it. However, this will not be different than if I started just a new chat. We need to first give it instructions so it gives us the output that we want. So here, this is my first instruction. I'm just saying that it's suggesting recipes that I can cook during the week, keep the answers to just listing the ingredients and the instructions. And we can still add more since we're asking recipes. Let's give it even more context. So here I'm giving more context because I want the answers to be useful. I don't want to have to correct Claude each time it gives me. So I'm telling it, hey, I have an oven, I have a stove, and I have an instant pot. I don't want it to suggest, for example, to use a rice cooker or a slow cooker. And there we have. Let's try this and see how it goes. There we have our first recipe. So it's suggested an instant pot chicken tikka masala. Now, this works, but what if I don't want this recipe? I wanted to suggest different recipes and then go into the details of one so I can pick. We can adjust this in the instructions. Let me adjust it and let's ask for another recipe. Perfect. It didn't go into listing the ingredients or downloading the image or other stuff. So let's go with the beef stew. And there we have our recipe, and we could leave it there, but let's keep giving context. So I went from this where it was just having one prompt and it give me instantly a recipe to something like this. Let's give it even more context. Let's say I didn't like something from here. I don't want to have to tell Claude to suggest other ideas because it didn't get my preferences. What happens if I also have allergies, or what happens if I'm cooking for more than one person? So I have this file. In this file, I mention what is my preference to eat each day. So Sunday vegan, Monday meat-based, Tuesday vegetarian, and so on throughout the week. Also, it depends on if my partner is at home or not, that I have to cook for more than one people. I have favorites, I have things that I don't like, and I have things that I'm allergic to. So in the project, I can also upload files. So I just added the file. You can see it here. So in the file, we mentioned that Tuesday was vegetarian. So let's ask for it to cook something on Tuesday. See, immediately it knows that Tuesdays I eat vegetarian and it's for one person. I don't have to speak to it very formal, by the way. I could just do 4. And it knows I want the instant lentil dal. There we have the answer. And here we have our recipe. You can also store these conversations, or if it gets too overwhelming in the project, you can also delete the conversations. For example, the ones that were 5 minutes ago, I don't want it because it's just proposing one recipe, didn't give ideas, it's not meeting the expected format that I want. The instructions give Claude context, but it doesn't mean it's the only thing that I can do. For example, in the instructions, I'm telling it to suggest 5 recipes, right? But what if I want to plan for the entire week? Now that I gave it the context of what I eat each day, how many people, I'll just add this. Now, each day, it's giving me a suggestion, right? It says pick 1 or more from any day. Claude can be flexible. I could just say, pick them yourself. And it can provide them one at a time, or all of them. Let's ask for all the recipes. And there we have our recipes. And the benefit of this being done in the Claude desktop app is that these recipes are now also available on my iPad and iPhone. So there it was. We created our recipes Claude project in about 10 minutes or less. Now Claude will remember the context, and I can keep on improving it as I edit the instructions or add more files to give Claude context. Give it a try yourself. See you on the next video. Bye.